Season 17 of Married at First Sight. Let's talk about it. The amount of reality TV I've started to watch since I got married is insane. I used to hate reality TV shows. Like, hate. I'm like, it's so stupid, whatever. It's just like random people. They're not actors, they're not actresses, they're not like professional. They're just random people. Why do I want to sit and watch random people? Like, no. But now, I see that's where the tea is. I think the first thing I started watching was Married at First Sight. Let me tell y'all why I like the show Married at First Sight. Because I limitedly participated in like dating culture and whatnot, and of course there's a lot of boundaries. There's a lot of rules that I followed, and to make sure I kept everything halal. And I think that the show, the premise is very interesting, but also it kind of, reflects Muslim values a little bit with, not dating around. You marry a person and then you get to know them. Like, you have your entire life to get to know the person you married. Once it's, been confirmed this is a good person, this is a good match for you. Only that's done by the experts. It's not done by, you don't have to do all of that vetting and everything. They do what I would consider sometimes the harder part for you, with the personality wise, and just doing the work to make sure that people are matching up and they seem like a good fit for each other based off of what they communicate about themselves. So I feel like that show kind of like really reflects my personal beliefs in about marriage. So that's why I choose to watch that show. Many people around the world have gotten married after either knowing someone, for a short period of time, or, sight unseen, they just know this is a good person, their parents match them, and, it works out. They get married and they stay married, and they fight for the relationship, or, they may stay and it may not be good and they might not think of there's a way out. But that's a different topic. But the ones that, stay and they like the person and they work on the relationship and they want to make it work. That, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, and you really do have your entire life to get to know the person. This type of show is like, in a way, it's kind of very halal when you think about it. So that's why I like watching Married at First Sight. And this time around, I'm watching season 17. Last time, I believe I was watching season 14 when I first started the show. Season 14, I don't remember their names, but it was very, it was like a roller coaster for me, and, everything was it was like really interesting, and I got really attached to the characters. And it was a season where only one couple worked out. I remember the guy, I think he was bald. There was a black girl and a Puerto Rican guy, I want to say. I'm not sure. But yeah. And I just like, after I watched the season, I found out online that they're still married and they have a baby, which is like so cute, right? And I'm just thinking, like, so they do all of this work, spend all this money on, the wedding, the venue, the honeymoon, and hosting these couples at apartments. And it's so disappointing to see like one or two couples like working out. And so far I've only seen one couple work out in this experiment. And it's honestly kind of sad because a lot of the work was done for you. Like, you kind of really owe it to yourself and your partner that you just married, your spouse. You owe it to them to really try to see it through and try to, really make it work. Like, and not, and like at the same time, like, respect the sanctity of marriage and, just really try. Like, not try, but do, and unless there's like humongous red flags that can't be worked through therapy, that can't, the experts can't help with, I really wish people like, took it seriously enough to, work through their issues and work through things that come up and just try to make it work. Because in real life, it's like that too, you still have to deal with your spouse's friends, you have to deal with their family, and most of the time that I've seen, the couples' families were very supportive. Or if they weren't, they're like, okay, I'll just see how this goes. And then, you know, like, of course, there is some room for skepticism, of course. But I feel that for the majority, like, they owe it to themselves to see it through, because in real life you have to deal with all of those things. You have to deal with family, you have to deal with friends, you have to deal with work, balance, you have to deal with pets, you have to decide on kids, you have to, you know, like, go through all of these things that you would normally do when you were married anyway. So the fact that, you know, you kind of skipped a couple steps with the experts matching you, I mean, why not see it through, you know? Like, it just really it gets me so annoyed when after the process, they're like, oh, you know, I guess I'm not ready for marriage. But, like, you were just saying how nothing has worked out for you and blah, 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 all this. And then, you know, to not, if nothing has worked and this is your last resort, you owe it to yourself to really, you know, see it through. Appreciate the existence of this show, essentially, because it gives, you know, people like me with a lot more, you know, not conservative background, but like more religious background, more religious, I'm trying to like live my life more religiously according to Islam. And so when I see a show like this that's focusing on marriage, which is like one of the biggest, elements of our life, it's refreshing and it's awesome, and it really feels like content that I can, watch with my family and not feel like it's just, we're just watching hot people in a pool, And I feel like it's giving more value. It's highlighting important issues, and it's really, taking marriage seriously. And I wish the contestants would take marriage seriously as well. So I'm trying to understand what the attraction is with like shows like Married at First Sight, where they're making an experiment. They're experimenting with love and attraction and chemistry and relationships and marriage. Like, what is the point if no one ever stays together? Like, if every season you get maybe one couple that like sticks it out and does the process and is not being super dramatic and crazy and is actually there for the purpose of the show, like, and then turns out only one couple survives, one, not even two. I haven't even seen a show where two couples make it. Like, I haven't. It's crazy. So like that one season, and then I watched season 17, Denver, of Married at First Sight, and that was crazy. None of the couples stayed together because it was all, they were trying to scam the system. Like, of course, like, you're not here for marriage. Why did you sign up for this show if you're not here to actually go through the process and find somebody and make your relationship work? Like, I thought every other avenue that you tried was like a dead end, and you can't find anybody like this and you can't find anybody like that. And then I decided to go on the show to find somebody, see if the experts can find somebody for me. And then, if you're supposed to be trusting the process, freaking trust the process till the end. Like, oh my gosh, we just finished the look at the whole season. And when I tell you, me and my husband were like riled up. We were so angry. First off, we got the couple that I was kind of really excited about, Lauren and Orion. I was really excited about them. Both tall. They're both from like diverse backgrounds. Like, they have a lot of culture, a lot of history, and I was like, okay, could work if they're like respecting each other and making space for each other, and they can like understand things, right? Turns out this guy's just like trying to put a spotlight on his culture. And wouldn't it be better if you actually did the process properly and highlight your culture, but also like take this seriously and not just harp on like a little thing? And actually, wouldn't that be a better showcase for your culture? You know what I mean? So I was just like, dude, you just went about this completely the wrong way. And like the way he didn't forgive Lauren for saying the word that it has like a really heavy meaning. The way she said it, she clearly did not know what it meant. Like, clearly did not know what it meant. Like, watch the scene in the hot tub. Like, she clearly did not know what that meant. And then when she told her, she was so apologetic. I was like, she's being real. Like, she was so apologetic. She was like, she said sorry, like, she apologized so many times, and she was like really regretful, and she learned, and she went and researched, and she said she Googled everything about like his culture and tried to learn more about it and everything. And I'm just like, that's a person who's actually sorry that they, hurt someone, and you're kind of an asshole if you don't accept it, because you see that they're actually trying to change something, like that's the sincerest form of an apology, is change behavior, right? So she's not going on using the word, she's not calling you anything, disrespecting you, calling you out of your name, she's not doing any of that. She was just so like, she was awesome. The way he judged her about like being with someone before the show started was so out of pocket, because you cannot judge somebody on anything they did before they even knew you existed. I'm sorry, I don't care who, even myself, I'm talking to myself too. Like, you cannot judge somebody over something that happened in their past. Like, that was their past. Did they do anything while they were with you? Did they step out of the relationship while they were with you? No? Okay, you don't have an argument. You do not have an argument. If you harp on that, then you're an asshole, and no, you don't deserve her. So, I'm so glad that she like healed and she got over like him and all his BS. Like, I'm sorry, dude, like, you're on some shit. Like, you need to work on yourself, because that's not an excuse. You're not gonna make a relationship work if you're acting that way. Find someone, if that's such a, like, no, it's not even the fact of it being a cultural thing, or no, it's a judgmental thing. It can happen with any relationship if you are the asshole. So, dude, get your shit together, stop being an asshole, stop thinking everybody's out to get you and get your culture. Like, nobody is doing that. Everybody's being respectful. People are generally genuinely nice and, open-minded and accepting and, willing to learn. Okay, like, most people, good people who are, actually looking for a relationship, they're willing to learn. So to bring that and make that just blow it up, make a mountain out of a molehill, like, seriously, you are damaging yourself. Like, you're getting in your own way. I was pissed. Anyway, I'm glad that they just called it quits before the even, like, 2-month mark was up. And I'm just like, girl, you don't even need that. You do not need that. Go find somebody else and go be happy, because this isn't it. The other one that got me was Becca and Austin. They said one of the biggest issues in their relationship was like intimacy, right? Which was, always brought up, was constantly brought up. It was like a thing with them. And I'm just like, she's so freaking gorgeous. Like, why would you not be attracted to her? Like, she's so pretty, and she's such a good person, and she's like so kind and so like self-aware. Like, she's awesome. Like, seriously, what is your problem? And like, he's like, oh, this takes a little time for me, and I'm like, okay, well, if you say that up front, then maybe she wouldn't have such high expectations, of you being married to her. Like, what is she supposed to expect? Like, something, right? Like, amp it up, something. I don't know. But here's the thing. If somebody likes you and they're attracted to you, there's nothing that is going to stop them from touching you, from wanting to go all the, like, there's nothing. Like, attraction, that's just how it works, okay? You don't have to, if that's something you build, you work at. Like, I get so like annoyed when people say, oh, is attraction gonna build, is it gonna come later? No, honey, no, I'm sorry, but attraction is immediate. You either feel it or you don't. And if you don't, if you try to keep dragging it along, you're just making things worse for yourself. So That was my issue with them. I'm like, dude, why didn't you say that it takes you like 6 months to like actually do it with someone? Like, but she's your wife though. Like that's that's the end goal, you know, that everybody wants. She's your wife, dude. What the heck is wrong with you? And she was like really into him. Like, she was saying like that's like her ideal guy, like looks wise, and I'm just like, this poor girl. I feel so bad for like the situation because like I don't, not pity wise, but like dude, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm just blaming him at this point. But yeah, like us watching, we don't know like the full story, but from what I could see, from what they were showing on camera, Brennan's an asshole, and I feel like Emily just hung around like way too long, and just like trying to make it work when he clearly like acted like he just wasn't into her. I feel like he judged her for like her past and stuff. Like, this is like the first relationship she's had, and before it was just like she's just kind of like partying and like living it up, right? And then I feel like on some level like he like heavily judged her for that, like heavily judged her for that. And I feel like a lot of times he was like on the brink of saying he's not attracted to her. And then she said in the reunion that like they made out like every day at the honeymoon. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense, dude. Like, what the heck? I don't know. Like, he is just a walking red flag, and no clue. But anyway, the other couple, Cameron and Claire. Yeah, I agree with everybody. Cameron's full of shit too, and I can see how he totally like started the whole let's game the system and let's make ourselves look good. And the thing is, it's so funny, it's so ironic that they were like, oh, let's make this plan, let's strategize, let's make sure we look good at the end of this, and they're not gonna play us, and you know, and it turns out they look even worse. They look even worse than they did if they tried to make it work honestly. They tried to play the system, but they came out looking worse than they thought they would look if they had just did everything honestly. And that is what annoyed me so much. Who was the other couple? Michael and Chloe. Man, I was so upset at that one. That one would really like, that one really bothered me because like, okay, one, everybody's like, oh, I'm looking for marriage, I'm looking for marriage, I'm looking for marriage. Okay, cool, you're looking for marriage. And then they're like introducing us to Michael, and he's like this kind of, you know, kind of like really diverse, like liking different things, like cool, wonderful, whatever. You wear skirts, great. I'm not sure if pairing you with a more traditional woman was a great idea, but like I feel like that kind of would take anyone some getting used to. But regardless, Michael seemed like he was, you know, really there to find somebody. And so I was like, okay, I'm kind of rooting for this guy, you know, he seems like he's got it all together, he's a little older. Like on decision day, they were like, no. And I'm just like, wait, what? You guys? Like, I really thought they had it in the back. Like, they looked like, you know, they fed and they both were good communicators, but I guess still not good enough because he didn't, like, she said she asked him, like, would she be taking his last name? He said, let's wait until decision day to, like, make that decision. And I'm just like, and she was just like, wait, huh? And then the fact that he didn't tell his mom about her. The only reason you don't tell like a parent that you've gotten married, that you've had kids, is if you're like, they're toxic, you're not in contact with them, you know, there's some issues there that you don't want them to be a part of your life. But if you are not, that's not your situation, and you're fully talking to your mom, like, why wouldn't you tell her that you got married, like actually got married? He's like, oh no, like she went through it the first time, and I wanted to be sure first before telling her. Like, that's the whole part of the process. Like, you did it, you're not following the process. People tell their family right when they get matched. They haven't met the person, they don't know who it is, but they tell their family, like, oh, you know that little dinner that they have, like, oh, they found a match for me. I'm getting married in 2 weeks. I'm technically engaged. I'm getting married in 2 weeks. Like that's when you tell your mom. So yeah, your mom can be a part of the process, okay? You don't be like, oh, I'll wait to see if it works out and then I'll tell her. Like, that's so mean, and that's not fair to her. Like, it's not fair to her because she got her mom involved. Like, if they're keeping it a secret from their moms, okay, that's one thing. But like, she had told her mom was a part of it. Her mom and her best friend were like her bridesmaids, and like she did everything. Like she stepped out of her comfort zone, like she said, and he didn't. Like, he didn't involve his, like, your mom. It's your mom, bro. Like, what the heck? Is that all the couples? Oh yeah, Claire and Cameron. I don't even know. I feel like there's a lot there going on. If it wasn't gonna work, they should have just been completely straight up and said, it's not working, I'm not attracted to you. And then also, when they revealed that it was all strategy, it was like, oh, they were all purposely withholding sex. Like, they were purposely not trying to make it work because they wanted to have a good outcome. Like, but you came out still looking like assholes. Like, what was your point? Like, they just wanted followers on Instagram, they wanted brand deals, they wanted to go on TV. Like, okay, but do the thing honestly that you signed up for. That's what I'm wondering. I'm like, didn't they sign contracts, like, to be honest up front and like not like sleep with people outside like of the marriage, and like just do this thing and have the cameras following them, and they all wanted to, like, what, get famous or something, and then they, oh, don't put me on camera, like the Austin was like, get the camera out of my face. I'm like, oh, now you don't want the cameras there. Like, I'm glad that we found out, like, what was really happening, and to really see, like, these people for who they are. And generally, it just kind of sucks. Just kind of sucks because there could have been 4 or 5, happy couples, but no, there wasn't,